How is going?
Hello. Good, all good. You can see that I'm a little bit burnt because I am in Czechia now, and it's over 20 degrees here, and it's lovely to work on sun and to not see rain or Irish rain for for a few days. But how are you?
I am just coming out from a bad flu, so apologies everyone if I'm gonna have some coughs today. But yeah, I mean, it's getting better. Today in London it was 23 degrees. It was very sunny. I guess I get those a little tan as well. So yeah, life can be better.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So I know that every time we are running out of time, so we just started immediately with the topic about this new masterclass that is our third step for be successful when we want to change something in our life. So Barbara and I, have understood that change is an important part of our lives. It doesn't matter if we're talking about personal life, and it doesn't matter as well if we're talking about our career. And simply, we have highlighted five different steps for being successful in the change, because change always brings some kind of discomfort. So it's a kind of pain in a certain way. And some people can just give up on the change. We want you to be successful. We want you to change. We want you to have a better life. And so this series is our support for you. So we have talked in the first step about awareness. So first of all, you just need to be aware that something is not fitting your life or yourself anymore, and somehow you just need to change it. It's normal, it's fine, it happens to everyone, but first of all, you need to be aware of it. Second step is acceptance. So you just need to accept that something is wrong and you just need to move on. And now we are in the part of adaptability. So with the adaptability, in reality today, Barbara and I want to talk about how you need to become a kind of chameleon for making this change. um, and I am very keen about this topic, as I was saying before offline to Barbara, because I really believe that we need to master our flexibility, our adaptability as a skill if we want to be successful in this new world. So from 2025, we just need to be aware that in order to making through the society, etc., we just need to adapt ourselves. Sometimes I also call my people like a chameleon, and this is just to foresee how much I believe in it. Just for saying, in terms of business, I started with businesses, and then we can move on the personal life with Barbara, because in any case, it works in the same way. So based on my research, the number of temporary jobs and part-time jobs are raising every year. And at the same times, for example, I work with projects. And if you are a businessman, you perfectly know that the businesses can be split into different groups. One is the product. So you're gonna find a perfect formula and you're gonna sell it over and over again, like it's gonna be always the same. Just for saying, think about what is happening on the grocery. You have, for example, your pasta, and that is a product. So once you're gonna find the formula, you're gonna sell it all over and over again. When you're working with projects, the project by its own definition is something temporary. So a project always have a start point and always have a ending point, because the project is the moment that is required to find the product That is gonna be the focus of the second group that we were talking earlier. So if we think about what is a project, actually, we need to think that it's gonna come a hand. So once it's gonna be over the project, you need to move to another project that is in business, and somehow you are changing. It could be that you're changing. It could be that you are changing even only the server, but just you're changing the client. So you're changing something. So every time, if you are a businessman and you're dealing with project, it could be website, it could be like a construction project, it could be IT project, it can be anything. It can be also jigs, for instances. You are changing something. And what I'm facing in my own experience, just like many times people are not good in the change because they are not good in the adaptability moment. So, and because of that, they're gonna fail in the second part. So they are not gonna have a full change, a completely successful change, and therefore they're gonna fail. And we are here today for talking about how you can actually be successful in being flexible and adapt to yourself in this new condition, because life is so fast and times are changing so fast, especially after COVID. So it's just not real thinking like you can have the same life, the same career for the next 40 years, just for saying. And that's why we thought it was very important to talk about that. I think like I have talked enough, so let's see if
I
Barbara.
loved it. I loved it. I loved the introduction here, and I'm always interested in the business side. I am more like, because I have background in coaching, so in personal coaching and in life coaching. So I'm always also in, like, more in the area of like the personal life and like making the change in personal life. And as you said, like we have so many changes. There are so many changes every day, and it can be as little as changing a label on milk, but it can be also at work. And we also talked about it a little bit 2 weeks ago when we talked about acceptance, for example, how to be or like how to accept, for example, when there is a change at work and you can't do anything about it. And I think that's what also you mentioned, Stefania, around that we cannot really control what is changing because we live in a really fast world, and things change. And yeah, we can create an awareness around it, we can accept it, but it is also really nice and helpful and crucial to create this, let's say, flexibility, this psychological flexibility that allows us to create the adaptability, because that allows then the resilience in our lives. And yeah, so I think that it is really crucial because adaptability is a skill that, yeah, works in life and also at work or in business. But it is this skill that allows us to feel okay when something changes, and it allows us to, like, yeah, be okay with it and behave and think and regulate our emotions around that.
Exactly. So here on my notes, I have also this that sometimes people think that adaptability is a sort of weaknesses. Instead, it's not. It's a form of intelligence, because we with adaptability, in reality, is the ability to read the reality and deciding how I want to react. So in reality, adaptability it's a very good thing, because it means like we are reacting instead of resisting the change. And as you said, Barbara, there are so many things that we can't actually control. Uncertainty is getting normal in this new world. Um, and so we just need to take it on board. There was a thing that I had in my in my head, and now it's gone. But probably it's gonna come back later. Um, you were trying to say something?
Yeah, I was, but I also wanted to let you talk. Yeah, like now when you were talking, I also then thought about like because we both live abroad, right? And so we both know
Oh yes.
what is it to go out of comfort zone. And I know we talked about it in previous lives as well, but like we have this like comfort zone, and we also have the safety zone, and we are like creating this flexibility, and that allows us to create the adaptability. And if we won't do it, then we will feel disconnected. We will have very limited thinking. We'll be in the box instead of like flexing outside of the box. And this will also impact our actions, what we'll be doing, because if we'll be limited, then also the things that we do will maybe not matter as much for our business, for our life, for our career advancement. Um, and yeah, and we would, and like if we are not flexible, and if we are not able to adapt to new things, then it also then ends up in like doing things that aren't that important, and yeah, thoughts that are hooked with the negativity. But like instead, if we'll create this flexibility, then we have like we have this clarity about like what's meaningful, and how it like works with what's important for us, again for us, for our businesses, for our career advancement. And yeah, and we can build on that. And I think that that's really important to mention here, around the comfort zone and like creating the flexibility there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. I mean, I didn't mention the comfort zone because I felt like we were already in a process where we had already like overcome the comfort zone. But you did the right thing in mentioning.
Yeah, we have these connections from the session 1, 2, and
Yeah,
3. So
right.
if you want to hear more about comfort zone, then watch or join us for the fourth session in 2 weeks, which is about accountability.
Yeah. I just want to say that. So I remember what I had in my head. So the concept that I want to say is just like before you mentioned it, that you're taking care about the personal life, but I just believe that there is a strong connection between personal life and professional life. It doesn't matter if we're talking about being a businessman or being an employee. In any case, if the change, I mean, I strongly believe that if the change doesn't happen before in your personal life, in yourself, it will not be applicable also on your career. So if we want to change something in our career, first of all, we need to change ourselves in our like as our inner voice. And um, and I know that many people thinks that adaptability is another way for saying like I'm giving up, And I just want to demolish this belief, because actually I don't believe that when you are flexible, when you can adapt yourself, your condition to something else or to someone else, actually you're giving up on something. You are not giving up. What is matter is just like you're not giving up on yourself, because you are the most important person on earth, and you can't betray you. So just question yourself. If I need to adapt myself to this condition B, am I betraying myself? So if the answer goes in the direction like yes, because in reality, that adaptability is not what is gonna makes you feel good. Okay, so that is like giving up, and this is bad. But if we're gonna question, like, is this change, this adaptability, actually bring me some sort of inner peace, some sort of getting better in some skills, some sort of advantage, you're not betraying yourself, so you're not giving up on something, but you are growing and you are becoming the best version of yourself. So I just want this to be very clear. Try to think, try to reflect the situation on yourself. Do some questioning. If you need a journaling for writing down, and when you write down with a pen and the paper, don't use the electrical devices, because they are not as powerful as taking a piece of paper and a pen. So writing down this question, like a column with a pro, a column with a contra. If it's needed to also like keep that paper on the table for 3 days and come back and see how reading those pro and cons, or like your thought about the adaptability, how do you feel like after 3 days? Do you still feel good about adapting yourself in the new condition or not? What has changed? This is the best way for getting closer to yourself, understanding what actually is gonna makes you happy and feeling good. Don't listen to anyone else that is gonna, everyone are always trying to give you advice, and I know that people are just doing it with the best intentions, but the truth is just like this is your life, and probably that people are not never had done the same action as you're doing. For example, if you're a businessman and you are surrounded just by employee, no one can actually say to you how you need to grow your business, just for instance, right? So don't listen to anyone, just listen only to yourself. And one way is just questioning if this change, and so the adaptability is actually brings you some sort of benefit. It could be also something in the middle, so life is not black and white, but it's full of so many shades of gray. So if it's if the new adaptability is bring you peace, but not fully, okay, you can just adapt to yourself like 70% of what was expected, but even 10%, just for saying, even 10%, but it's a first step for the change. And after this 10%, you are going to realize what is going to be the next step that's going to fit you and no one else. So no one can really gives you these answers. Barbara and I can just help you out and figure it out what is going to be the best change for you. But you are the only one who can really answer the question and who can really make the work.
Yeah. This is very, very, very important and very, very good point that you brought. And yeah, in my opinion, in some cases, the question like if this is actually beneficial for you, or like if this, or like if this is even like possible to work for you. In some cases, since the things aren't avoidable, um, it's more about like how can this be beneficial? How can I make it work? But like yeah, like definitely what you mentioned, Stefania, like this was really an important point, because like when you look at the process of the adaptability, I always pronounce the word wrong.
That's okay.
Adaptability.
Wishes.
Adaptability. I was training the whole day to say out loud this word, and still adaptability. Because like first, like when there is this change, or when something has happened, or like there is a situation, at first it feels uncomfortable. We are human, we don't like change, and when we have to like adapt to something, it feels uncomfortable at first, because we are used to our old patterns, we are used to our old thoughts, and like how we handle things. And so then when we try to understand the change, we are then also able to think how we can adapt, and like as Stefania said, if it is even worth it, or like how it is actually beneficial, or like how can I actually make it work, so that I can actually adapt to it, so I can actually make the way around, and so it works for me in the end. And then it is easier for you to adapt to the change and to stay calm.
um, yeah, I am just. I mean, um, I'm just thinking about some images for making more visual the adaptability, but the only image that I have in my mind is the chameleon.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I had also read the chameleon, but also there is this story about like Tiger Mohini from Tara Brach. I have no idea if it is true story or not, but it is about this white tiger who lives in Washington Zoo, and like in his first years of life, he lived in this small cage with the iron thingies around him, and so then when the zoo decided to make actually something bigger for him with like more nature, and so that he can walk around. Then when they made it, it was actually too late, because he was used to be in this cage, and so when they like got him into this new place with like the nature in the zoo, and like with the space for him, and to walk around and everything, he would just go to the corner and just like lie there on the same like surface as his cage used to be. And I think this is very interesting lesson when talking about adaptability, because when we stay in our cage, or like what's your cage right now that doesn't allow you to like actually come out and to look, is actually this change good for me, or how can I make it work? But like if you stay in the cage, then just the grass will grow all over you, and you'll stay in this small square, even though you have whole garden of opportunities.
Mm.
And you you are human, you can decide that you'll actually go and walk in the garden, and as an chameleon, you'll adapt to different situations and see what works, what doesn't.
Actually, yeah. Listening to this story, I just remember that. I, I mean, when we have talked about awareness and acceptance, I would say that that is mainly the theory about the change. But now adaptability is kind of the first step for be practical and actually make the change real. So not in your mind, not as a dream, but just to make it real. And the point about dreams, for example, is just like, I mean, by their own definition, they are always unachievable. So the question is why actually some people can make a dream achievable? Because they are not, when they make the dream achievable, that dream is completely different from the first dream they had. Because with these things about, for example, adaptability, they are gonna get, they're gonna change, as I was saying before, like 10%. They're gonna make a move for 10%. They're gonna receive some sort of feedback, and then they're gonna adapt the dream based on this feedback. Is working for me? Doesn't work for me? What is the reality here? And so with all these small steps, you are able to actually move on. So it's gonna be fine if you are trying to adapt, and maybe the first time you're not successful as you expected, but just don't give up. Because you are becoming so great. Every time people are changing and learning something new about themselves, about some skills, about the world, about someone else, they are becoming richer, and so they are becoming better person. So yeah, I mean, just works with small steps, but adaptability is the first one for making the change real, because it's the first step in our series for the practical aspect. You froze. Okay.
Now I'm back. Now I'm back. Yeah, I don't know where you left, but like you're definitely right around like the awareness and acceptance is more like internal, but now like the adaptability is more external thing, or like because it's connected to actually behavior, to our actions. And like next week when we'll talk about commitment, it will be commitment to taking the actions and to committing to our goals. And yeah, so like definitely not being scared uh, of trying and of seeing if something works, if it doesn't. That's all part of the journey. And like if you won't try, you'll stay at one place, and you won't know. So it's always better to try. And this is more a reminder for myself as well, to always try it and then learn from it, and maybe improve, maybe change it. It's never a step back. It's always a step forward, because you can just grow from there.
Yeah, when I was a child and I was scared to do something, because I was scared of failing, my dad was always telling me, "You just need to do it, because if you come back home crying, at least you know that it's not for you, and you can just focus on something else."
Uh,
Yeah, this
yeah.
is the same lesson here. If adaptability is going to be really tough, and that's why also the next class is going to be about commitment. So how to commit with it, because it's very easy and say like, okay, you just need to adapt it to the new condition, and then it's going to happen. However, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. It's really easy to talk about it, to think about it, to plan it, but neither of these are actually to take the action and to do something.
yeah, what is important to keep in mind every time that we are scared, we feel in pain, we are unsure, whatever we're gonna have a negative emotion, just please keep in mind everything is normal. It's part of the process, and you just need to trust the process and believe in yourself. But it's perfectly normal. And I mean, at least this is something that I do for me. And every time, like the bad emotions just go away.
Yeah, and definitely have something prepared as well. Like if you're scared, or like if there is something that you fear of, you fear of this failure, ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, and then get ready for it. Okay, when this situation will actually appear, and like when this will actually happen, what can I do about it? How can I prepare myself for when this actually comes? And then when it comes, it's actually easier to cope with that and to adapt to it.
Good. I can see like we are already on another time.
Time just flies so fast.
Do we need to make the next class 1 hour?
Well, the thing is that then we would go over that 1 hour.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so 30 minutes also for the next class. I have already scheduled it. It's gonna be the 14th of May, 6:30 UK time or 7:30 European time, as always. And yeah, if you have any questions, or if you want to give us some feedback or just chat about the topic, yeah, in this event you have myself and Barbara as a speaker, so feel free to DM us.
Yeah, please do so. And thanks a lot for watching, either live or then watching the recording. And yeah, I hope that you'll have amazing rest of the day. Well, it's evening, so rest of the week. And
Let's see. Enjoy your 1st of May. That is going to be the day for the workers. So you are important for society. The work is important for you. And you absolutely need to celebrate this day because you are so great as a worker. So never forget it. It's one of those political holidays that I really love, I really care about. So yeah, happy working day for all of you that are celebrating the 1st of May.
yeah, I think in Ireland there is it's bank holiday weekend. So actually the bank holiday is on Monday. So get some rest, and yeah, definitely
Yeah, it's the same.
an activity that's nourishing for you.
But when I had the 1st of May, it's interesting because it's celebrated almost all over the world. Even in Canada was like that when I was there, and in UK, so also in Ireland, had been moved to the first Monday. But when I have done my research, it's coming from the same concept. So just you just have the time for, of course, resting, but also for reflecting on yourself, on your work, and how good you are in doing the work that you are doing every day. So take the time for yourself and celebrate yourself as well.
Yep. Yeah. Very nicely said.
Thank you. So see you in 2 weeks and enjoy your time off.
See you. Bye.
Bye.